Hey guys, it's Model Making Time, and we're here at Key Model World Live 2025. There is a lot to see here. Trains, trucks, Lego, model kits, everything. So let's dive straight in. Welcome to Key Model World Live 2025, guys. And first up, we're looking at Hornby. Hornby brought pretty much all their range, it seems. They have the kid-friendly range, they have their regular rail range, they have TT120, and well, there's more of the Hornby brand here as well. So let's go and have a look at it all. Pretty sure we had a similar layout to this here last year. Really enjoy seeing it though. It looks great. It really makes me want to get a layout. I know this is probably one of the more quote-unquote basic ones, but yeah, and I love seeing the live steam effects. Fabulous. Of course, Hornby had much of their range on display. Really cool to see it all here. I like how they laid it out as well on tracks. Really simple but really effective. They did of course have TT120 on display as well, which is their really small TT standing for tabletop range. I still hear mixed things on this, but it seems to be getting more traction. I heard a lot of people talking about it positively at the show. We then head to Airfix, and Airfix actually released a special limited edition Spitfire Mark 9C with Malk's models as well, and I have one of them to build and review, and we will be looking at that later. Don't worry, there'll be another video with that, and I'll be building the entire thing too. But we'll do an unboxing of it at some point as well, maybe in the same video. You can see the limited edition kit there and their whole range on display. Of course, I had to get up close and personal with the new Jaguar kit, though it may not be one I'm going to build immediately. I am excited to see all of these on display, and they had the desert and standard wrap camo on the stand as well, and they just look fabulous surrounded by those Buccaneers. Just absolutely gorgeous. Ugh, so hyped by the Airfix range. We then head over to our first trains of the show, and we're going to do this a little bit different to last year. We're going to do all of the trains, then there'll be a little break, and then we'll go and do all of the model stands. So depending on what you want to watch, you might want to start here or you might want to start at the model bits, and I will try and separate them out with some chapters so you can go and do what you want to do. Now, I don't know trains super well, so I'm hoping that I can just sort of introduce each set, talk a little bit if it's something that sparks my interest. But mostly, I'm just going to let you guys talk in the comments below about what you love about each set. Tell me what trains are with each display as well. And yeah, I love this as a non-trainee person. I mean, I like trains. I'd love to have a train set, but I just adore this. And yeah, I hope we enjoy it all. So this is Marley Potts and Witherwack Sidings, New Haven and District Model Railway Club. We then head over to Fairford Depot from Fareham Model Railway Club. This is a different vibe, and there were a couple of them that were sort of done in this depot sort of environment, and I really like seeing these, the sort of harsh, gritty industrialism of it all. And you get like these little figures all placed around that really build up the atmosphere of it. It's really different to a station. I just love the creativity on display. Now I'm probably going to say this one wrong, but Toriku? Not sure, but I thought this was a really scenic display, and I really love these ones. They're almost like a mini diorama. I don't know, I really like it, and I tried to get up close with it, and as if like you're hiding in the trees watching the train go past, and I guess the hand of God comes down to push the train further. Yeah, really adore this, and I love the sort of the moss or bushes on the roof of the station. Absolutely amazing details. We then head over to Quarry View. This is again quite a small diorama, but it's filled with a lot of details, love and attention. I think with this, the engines themselves really stand out against the sort of more worn backdrop. It's really cool. I unfortunately did not take my proper microphone for this one because there was birdsong in the background. It was really lovely. In fact, I could see this being on display in someone's home because it was that lovely to hear. So I really enjoyed this one. I again tried to get between the trees, but my video skills are not quite where they should be. But I really enjoyed this one from Southwark? Not sure, but either way, fantastic display. Another industrial scene, but I love the terrace housing around the sides. It just adds a little je ne sais quoi to it. And these were moving at a slow pace, moving into the position, and I really liked this. It was a really cool diorama. It's always something special just to see trains move slow. I think at scale we get used to seeing them move so fast that when they move at this sort of more, well, seemingly leisurely pace, but I guess actually quite a scale pace, it's really, I don't know, I just find it quite relaxing actually. I think it's easy to say this was the biggest train display, not by like the actual physical size, but in terms of the amount of trains on the track. You could like hear the buzz of the engines at this Cardiff Canton set. Really, really cool. Again, I'm not a super train person, but I just love seeing so much variety on display. It was really cool. A quaint diorama, this time with Weekend Yard. I really enjoyed this diorama. The vista in the distance looks really serene and beautiful, and the use of figures quite sparingly across the diorama adds a lot of character, particularly over the bridge with the bus. I really like this one, it's really cool. I think the first use of water that we see at the front of this one from 5 Mile House, with the commuter train followed by a steam train. I really like the canal, I guess it's a canal, maybe a river, going across the front. It's just, I don't know, it's a really lovely piece. It just has a lot of movement, a lot of natural character to it. It's cute. One of the busiest displays at this year's Key Model World 2025 was Temple Bridge. This was a busy city centre style diorama. There was so much going on in the station, but still a lot of trains that were moving around as well. I did really like the life of the road down below, including the flashing at zebra crossing and the river with all of its life and activity. A very scenic display here from Burdock, or I guess called Burdock, and I tried to capture the countryside in this as well, because as much as you're here to view the trains on display and the hidden rubber duck there, you're also here to admire the craftsmanship that goes into the scenery as well. This was not on my bingo card to see this year, but I am so here for it. This is Ellen Valley Stages Tunnel Lane Slot Racing, and I absolutely loved this. It's just such a cool concept. I've watched quite a lot of those die-cast downhill racing things on YouTube, and so this was right up my alley. And then followed this with Geestone Tunnel Lane Model Railways, and this was so dramatic. Like, I just loved this. It was so cool, just so, I don't know, it just felt very awe-inspiring. We then head over to, and I'm probably saying this wrong, Shurikoya, which was I believe, Japanese-inspired layout. I really like this, seeing the different trains compared to a lot of the other layouts, but we did get quite a few European ones on display this year as well. There were trains moving at all different speeds, from the heavier loads at the back to a local commuter train running around the front. Really enjoyed this, especially the light work in the repair or servicing shop. Really cool layout. Love this. I try not to overemphasize any one stand at shows because I think it's important to show why every single stand is unique and beautiful and amazing. But I will say, as someone who adores trams and motorized vehicles, this was probably my favourite, just because I don't know why motorised vehicles aren't more common, and it's one of my favourite things about going to Miniature Wonderland in Germany is seeing not just motorised trains but motorised vehicles, and I loved seeing that here as well. This was just iconic. I love it. I love the trams as well. Everything about this layout I absolutely loved, and it has sort of like it's called Yorkshire Coast, but there's kind of like this side which has like a castle and kind of an edging, and then the other side which has like a fair in a town. It's so cool. I love this so much. It's adorable. Just look at this. Incredible work. then head over to Knaresborough with this amazing viaduct. This is a really dense display with a lot of 3D buildings rather than just sort of the, well, I guess embossed raised buildings that go in the background to a lot of them. It's a really lovely layout. Just look at this, it's iconic. Living up to the name of a junction, 12 Trees Junction is again a really busy layout. I really enjoy seeing these. The trains just moving into the sheds and some of them arriving at platforms. It's just, I don't know, really relaxing. There's just something about seeing vehicles all move at different speeds. It's really cool. I will say the theming of this is also really well done. I always like when they actually include the overhead signals as well. Now, I'm hoping with this next one I did get the veg patch for the right one. This should be Wimborne, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I just really like that with veg patch. I just thought it was a really nice use of a corner. Corners are obviously like often neglected because you can't really fit the trains in the corner, so I thought that was a really clever use of it. It just looks really nice, and it's really pretty as well. Adds a lot of character and depth to the model, and I guess it works well with the livestock we see at the front of the display as well. I don't know, I really like this. We have an Intercity 125 here at Loughborough Midland. I actually really like the Intercity 125, so I always like seeing this on any displays there are. Again, I like seeing the workmen just sort of in the middle working on the tracks, making sure everything's okay. Just adds a lot of character, and it's such a simple mark. The detailing on this is really nice with the ballast as well. It's just an all-round really well presented piece. This slow-moving, magnificent train is heading to Glasgow Eastfield, which used to be a railway traction maintenance depot. That's the TMD section for British Railways in Scotland. And yes, I definitely looked that up whilst I was sort of editing this. And that's what I really like about seeing all these things, is learning these different things that you just never would know otherwise. I do like how this arcs around, and then you've got some residential, and it goes off into kind of an almost countryside feel at the side. I lived in Glasgow for a short period of time, and it was really cool to be able to travel out to the countryside so quickly. So yeah, I really like this. I keep saying that, but it's just because I do think every single display just is so incredible. Long-time viewers of the channel will know I started my YouTube life with Planet Coaster, and combining theme parks with, well, miniature modelling. I just absolutely adore this. One day I hope to have a set like this, but for now, at least I can admire other people's, both here or in Miniature Wonderland, where they also have one on display. I was really thrilled to see this at Key Model World Live this year, and I hope to see it even bigger and better next year. Last year at Key Model World Live, and if you haven't seen it, go check out my 2024 video, but we had Milton Keynes front and centre, and I would say this was kind of the centrepiece this year. This is Watford Junction by Making Tracks. similar in the sense that it's, again, a giant layout with really active traffic, and I love this. When I first arrived, as you saw at the start there, everything was sort of frozen, and then as everything got moving, it just came to life. It's absolutely stunning. I don't know, there's something about these giant layouts that just moves the heart. That's why I love Miniature Wonderland so much. Like, I don't know, I love this. I hope that we can keep bringing these fantastic displays to Key Model World, because they really are just incredible. It really makes you want to just run out and buy a railway kit, which I guess is great because you're at the perfect place to buy them at Key Model World, right? I may have combined two here, I'm not too sure, but hopefully I haven't. But this was Door Hill St. Stephen's. I really like this, and can you see the light reflecting off the signal onto the train? How cool is that? Maybe a bit too bright in the light of the sunshine, I guess we have simulated by the lights of the exhibition hall, but I don't know, it was really cool. The scenery on here is iconic. Having a house that close to the railway back then must have been lovely. Well, if you like trains, I guess. And you can see the main station here, busy with all the pedestrians and passengers. Yeah, fantastic layout, really stretched all the way around as well. Amazing. I think this was still part of it, but I'm not sure, and unfortunately I'm not at the venue obviously now, so I can't check, but if it's not, someone let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the Welsh here. This was a miniature railway of a miniature railway. Really, really funny, but a really unique and lovely concept. Now, I did hear this was here last year, but I don't remember it. So either I just have a bad memory, which is probably the case, or I don't know, I missed it. But oh my god, I love this. So cool. And they had a 125 as well, which was around the corner. I did just have to take a picture of it though, because sadly it wasn't moving. But yeah, this was really cool. They had lots of Easter eggs around as well, like the minifig kit that you could find in the video game. They put one of them on the stand. So yeah, this was just really cool. I love this. So many references to like iconic LEGO moments. only, I think, airport scene we've seen here, and I'm surprised we haven't seen like a modern airport, because there's a lot of trains that go to modern airports, like even like the private transport ones you get. I thought someone might want to build one of them at some point, but this was Manston Airport. I thought this was a really cool diorama, a really unique approach to doing a railway line, and they put the sort of the history front and centre at the front, along with the two aircraft as well. This was just, I don't know, really lovely. Try and say it, is it Telendalach? I think that might be right. I always like when there's like a bridge. I don't know why. It just, again, it makes me feel joy. I think the buildings in this really add so much character as well, with the sort of the stone. Yeah, just adds so much depth to it, doesn't it? Not sure if it's Titan or Titan Hall Yard, but this is a much more industrial factory style layout. There's sort of multiple levels on this as well, which is quite clever. Adds a lot of movement to what can sometimes be quite a flat display. You can see the other train line at the bottom just moving below, and you'll see the train there. Yeah, thought that was just quite nifty. No idea how you say this, Zugich or something like that. Either way, a Dutch style layout. As you can tell from the windmill, this is incredible. The chickens move. You'll see it in a minute, a close-up of it, but the chickens move. In fact, you saw it in the intro as well. This was just an amazing layout. My mind was kind of blown by this, I'm not gonna lie. This was another amazing layout. Polson Lefield Junction. They had t-shirts on that said Northern Fail instead of Northern Rail. Cracked me up as someone who has been let down by Northern Rail quite a lot. Love the Yorkie poster in the background as well, sort of coming off the board, and the sort of smart display there as well. This is just a really detailed layout. it felt real. Like, it genuinely felt like a real place that you would visit. This was amazing. And how many sad trips I've had commuting on packed northern trains. This is Abawire GLR Bespoke Services. Really pretty layout. The vibrancy of the green really pops off the trains, I think. Yeah, it's just a really cute layout. And here's another one of my favourites. I'll probably say this one wrong as well, but Depot de Camion, a European layout. I'm not sure which region it was. For some reason my head says Swiss, but then looking up the trains, they're German, operated by a Swiss company, so not too sure whether this was meant to be in the end, but a really, really pretty layout. A lot of detail has gone into this, and Depot de Camion means truck depot, so hence all the lorries you're seeing there as well. And I like the McDonald's, really lovely feature to add in. And we're on to our final train display. Oh my gosh, hasn't time flown, guys? But this is Beggarwood Lane. Again, I love the use of levels here. I think that always adds so much depth and realism to these sets. Really lovely way to round off our trip round Key Model World Live, but of course this is only for the train section. Next up is going to be the vendors, and we'll also have a look at some other things before we move on to the models. Well, I say final train display, but we are here looking at Bachmann's stand here. Now, again, I'm not a train person. I'm not the person here to tell you all about the newest releases. That's a train content creator's job. But I thought I would show everything anyway, so you can see what was on display here, and let me know in the comments if there's anything that you picked up at the show. Of course, Key Model World Live would be nothing without all of the traders at the show, and there was certainly a lot there. I've tried to get a selection of some of the traders, but to be quite honest, there were so many that I couldn't cover. But I did buy from On The Rails again. I bought several socks from them. I love them. I bought from them last year. Shout out to those guys. But yeah, there's so much on display here. You really need to attend the shows. But alongside all of the trains and models, we have trucks as well, with Tamiya Truckin'. Let's just have a look at them for a bit. And there was also a Scalextric set, or Scalextrics. I always say it wrong. This was Mission Motorsport. This was quite a large layout for people to control and have a race on. I haven't played this for so long. I should have given it a go, but alas, there's always next time. Hopefully next year it'll be even bigger and better. And hey, at least it wasn't me throwing them off the tracks. I hope you've got your refreshments ready. It's time to look at all the models that were on display. First up, we have IPMS Gloucester. They had this dedication to Stalingrad as like a big part of their display. Really unusual, but a really interesting way to display one of the most iconic battles or settings of World War II. Myself and Mr. Modeler both enjoyed this Mustang, so I had to snap a picture of it. We then head over to Models for Heroes, and if you don't know who they are, you need to go over to their website now. They're an amazing charity that helps support veterans by supplying them with, well, supplies or model kits or parts for them to enjoy scale modelling as something that can really help people with mental health difficulties, or I guess really just any sort of difficulties. It's such an amazing hobby. Something we saw at both Scale Model World last year, but also at Bolton Model Show, is the training aircraft SIG, who said this year there's not just Hawks, there's still quite a significant amount of them, but I like that because the Hawk is such a beautiful aircraft. We did get to see some other unique aircraft as well though, like this Lynx in its Tiger scheme, and some Hawks and Alpha Jets in unique schemes as well. I mean, you gotta love that Raspberry Ripple as well. Speaking of which, we then head over to Bolton, who had a lot of larger aircraft on display. These, I think, captured everyone's attention when we walked past them, but I did also enjoy the unique French selection at the front too. Let's go and have a closer look, shall we? Now I've left the QR code that they had up on their display here so you can go and have a look in more detail too. I genuinely thought this was like a real thing. This is just a fictional bus company and I am obsessed with this. I think this is iconic. I think this is amazing. I think this is someone's hyperfixation that they have just run with, and this is amazing. I love this so much. Creative, amazing. I just love it. Everything about this. We then see Solihull Scale Model Hub. They had an F-18 in Maverick scheme, and I really like the Jaguar sort of painting style at the back as well. We'll have a closer look at that though. Stand that I never forget, and every time I see it, it brings a smile to my face. This is Just for Fun modelers who take a really interesting approach to idioms or sayings by making them literal model kits. For example, that storm in a teacup. Then you have the Coke Zero aircraft as well. Yeah, I love this so much. I've tried to get different things to what I got at Telford as well, but go and watch the Scale Model World 2024 video to see some of their other stuff as well. Unlike at Bolton, I actually did record this. Again, apologies for not recording you in full at Bolton. But yes, the Harrier SIG. Again, I tried to take pictures of things I don't think I've taken pictures of before. Just an amazing big display. I've seen it so many times at this point, I'm always scared of just repeating the exact same thing I always say. But yeah, I still love it. The Harrier is such a beautiful aircraft. But something completely different is the powered boat modelers, and I apparently took no pictures here, so I do apologise, but at least you get to see the full display here. Something I've always wanted to get into. Then have the US Air Force SIG. Again, they've got their giant B-36, which is tormenting me to build mine, which we will do at some point. But another amazing display. I love how much room they've got, and they've got a B-1B at the end as well. Guess what stand this is? If you can't, well, it's the Tornado SIG. Another SIG that I see quite frequently at shows, but again, the Tornado, I'm going to be so sad when that finally goes from all air services, but at least we're going to get to see it a couple more times before it does so. I don't have too much to say about IPMS Stafford because I am literally just going to be repeating what I said at Scale Model World 2024, so go and check this out. I went behind it there as well, got a lot more pictures, a lot more detail. It was, and I guess still is, one of the best model displays ever thought of, ever done. It's just absolutely an incredible telling of flying sort of Malabar, and I absolutely love this. Please go and check out their sort of presentation in Scale Model World 2024. The Great War SIG represents something that I guess isn't as overly popular in scale modelling, which is World War I. I have also said I'm going to be doing a World War I diorama this year that I have not yet started, but we will do it at some point. They also asked me about this and were very kind of saying I can reach out to them when I need the inevitable help, that I will do so. This is also quite cool because they've just had a World War I event on War Thunder that myself and Mr. Modeler have played, so yeah, really in the mood for it as well. But something completely different was West Norfolk IPMS. The main thing on here that was very different is the Brazilian stuff. You don't really see a lot of Brazilian stuff in the UK model shows, so it was really cool to see a B25 and I think it was a P40 that was at the front as well. Really unusual, and I always thought the Brazilian markings back then were really cool as well. And these ammo box dioramas, really interesting use of the space. IPMS London up next. A couple of really interesting aircraft on this display, including the Canadian Search and Rescue aircraft there. And I like the sort of air fate or air display on there as well. Really cool. Now, over the next couple of sections, going to be broken up by SIG 144, but we're going to have a look at a lot of creators and model makers who have actually built for the Airfix magazine. So you're going to see a lot of incredible models coming up very shortly. But before we do so, we need to have a look at the friend of the channel, SIG 144. a special interest group that builds, well, 1/144 scale kits. So these like half the size of the models I normally build at 1/72. I don't know if I could ever really build these, and some of these are probably small enough to sit on my fingernails, but I just think these are really well done. Always such a variety on display from the SIG, and I took pictures of almost everything. So sit back and enjoy this, and once we've done SIG 144, we're going to move on to look at all of those wonderful model makers who build for the magazines. This, as you can see, is the Airfix Alvis FV622 Stalwart Mark II. God, that is a mouthful. This is a new kit for Airfix, and this is from what I understand, pretty much the only painted one there is, or the only painted assembled one there is on display, because it's for the magazine. So yeah, really cool to see this. I asked them about the build as well. They said it built fantastically. It was just an absolutely beautiful kit to build. So anyone who's got that pre-ordered or hasn't done so already, do so. It sounds like it's going to be an amazing kit. Wasn't that just an absolutely amazing set of models? We'll now head over to IPMS Birmingham, who, as you can see there, had 60 years of IPMS Birmingham. Another lovely, varied display. The B-17 is just such a beautiful aircraft, and I like the Viking ship in the middle as well. Really unusual model to see. Say I did absolutely love this Mystère in Patrouilles de France colours. We then have British Bulldogs, another stand that we see quite regularly at shows. This was so packed and there was so much variety. I really like the kind of busk of the Gundam in the middle as well. Just such an unusual style. Tiny Legends is something I saw at last year's show, and I thought this was going to be just sort of the runway lineup. It turns out they're just rebuilding the entire of Duxford in scale, which is absolutely amazing, if a little bit crazy, but I have so much respect for them for doing it. I think this is just going to be an absolutely beautiful layout. And then you can see the start of the American Museum. And there's also the Tank Museum at the end as well. Well, I guess it's all part of the same museum, you know what I mean? The different buildings. I cannot believe this. I think this is amazing. I love this so much. I cannot wait to see this get more and more filled. They've asked if I want to do something for it. I'm gonna have to have a think and see, but yeah, I absolutely love this. Maybe I should build a tank for it actually, but either way, I love this. I can't get over it. This just fills me with so much joy. I'm going to say this now, Hinckley is the stand of unusual camouflages from when they were just experimenting with absolutely everything in World War II. I adore this. I love seeing things that are in unconventional colours, and also having the Roman statues or vignettes or whatever the words are for them, busks. Absolutely amazing. I love this so much. I'm never sure if I'm saying this right. I think this is Con Model Club. Also some parts of 3D Gizmo on here as well. This is a really big stand though. This is something I thought was a bit unusual at the end here, this Dinky Toys display. I don't think I've ever really seen anything like this before. Oh, it was really fascinating. Another stand that we saw at Bolton is Nomad Modelers, but they had some new things on display here as well. They have a tribute to their dog at the back there, as you can see. They've now got a picture on display there of them, and they are featured in a lot of scenes. I didn't even notice them in some of the scenes as well. If you want to get a close-up of the plane diorama that you can see in the middle there as well, please go and check out the Bolton video. It has a really good close-up of it, but I try and get different things in each of the videos. So I've tried to make sure that I capture different elements of their display this time. Then head over to Funland and Spalding. There's a lot more Gunpla on display again here, and I think Gunpla is just going to be spreading more and more throughout the entire of the modelling community. It's really taken a hold on people, especially because you can put in a lot of effort and get glowing up models like that, but you can also just build them entirely out of the box and get spectacular finishes. The table that has a friend of the show on it. This is West Midlands Police Scale Modelling Club. Try and say that 5 times really fast. You can see it right there, the Gannet. That's from Sully's Scale Models, friend of the channel, and of course we'll be getting a close-up of that model. From the police we go over to Chiltern. I like the diorama of the ambulance with the backing on it, but I really love the Strike Master displays. A couple of them here. One with this just sort of crashed, and another one where it's a horse jumping over it. I just think it's unique. And I think we've seen this B-17 before, but it's just really cool, and I've got a picture of it with sort of the B-17, and then I got one of just sort of the crew, as if like it's like a press photo, I guess. But yeah, really cool, really unique dioramas on this display. Really like it. Whizbech, I think I'm saying that right, I'm never sure, that had a really cool display, and they had one of my favourite aircraft I think at this entire show, which was the Chinook in British Airways colours right at the end. And this was a thing from 1980 to 1986, and they genuinely flew these, and I'm sad it's not a thing anymore, because I would have loved to have flown on something like that. Sutton Coalfield Model Makers Society. They have the plastic boxes that were ever so popular over the last decade or so in scale modelling. People seem to be going to wood these days, but I still really like these plastic boxes because they really help you set a scene into itself. It's really cool. Really like the seating here, all folded up, and then we get a Bakura here as well, being, I guess, repaired. And then a guitar Globemaster, which I think looks fabulous. Letchworth are clearly fans of Nurgle up there with the Warhammer 40k selection. Again, a really lovely stand. And this is sort of the style you're seeing more and more, I guess, because printed accessories are becoming more and more accessible these days. Love this repair scene in the desert. The camel rider at the back, and then we have Nurgle, as we mentioned earlier. We then have ASVC Womborn. They have a really unique F-16, which is like a dual F-16, which is really cool. Like the Heinkel HE111 Zweiling, but an F-16. RF Bryce Norton Scale Model Club. They had a Jaguar that was partly built, the new Jaguar, that you could have a feel of if you wanted to sort of see what it looked like up close and personal. Obviously I saw it earlier in the day, so didn't actually have a look myself, but I really like the displays of spotty MiG-21s they had here in Indian colours. A lovely little bulldog. Really lovely stand overall. Now for some reason I recorded Supreme Acts of Valor, Between the War, and if it gets over to it, there we go, Brampton, all in one go. I did separate them for the pictures, but I don't know why I did that. From those three fabulous displays, we move over to the What If SIG, and the first thing that caught my eye here was the Canberra with propellers. Chelmsford are up next. Love all the buses with their displays. I think they're amazing. So pretty, so colourful. Again, I just love anything that just adds colour to the table. Coventry and Warwickshire. Again, a stand I think we've seen so many times. I can hear the sound of that model in the middle of the UFO without even like actually having to hear it. It's not to say it's bad, it's just I've seen it so many times. It's amazing, and the animated Lancaster is just fantastic. Then get to our penultimate stand, which is Peterborough Area Model Boat Club. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Although it's boats though, I took pictures of a duck and a lighthouse, so I'm really sorry, I don't know why. And here we have it folks, our final display of Key Model World Live 2025. This is IPMS Southend Model Club, with some more representation for SIG 144. I'm just gonna say it here because you're gonna see it anyway. Yeah, an incredible stand. The lighting was a bit off here, so I'm sorry that the footage probably isn't that great. I don't have a light on my camera yet. I need to buy one. However, unfortunately, it just means everything's a bit odd, but I tried to do the best I can. And guys, that's it. That's Key Model World Live 2025. This year's show had less of a focus on trains, which I was slightly disappointed with. I feel like there was just more last year. Everything pointed towards this being a bigger show. The hall, I think, was bigger, but there were also some empty bits of it, and I'm not sure how I feel about this overall. I want this show to succeed because it gives competition to Telford. It means that we have something in April. It's like a 6 month apart. I love it. I love there's just so much different stuff here. It's not just models. It's everything. It's every aspect of modelling, and I absolutely adore that. So I really hope 2026, this show just gets bigger, it gets bolder, it gets better, because I am so hyped to see this model show just go from success to success to success. I have heard some different things about the overall show in terms of the parking being a bit difficult for some people, especially for sort of loading into it, but this is again still a relatively new show, so I'm hoping over time that gets better. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed my time here. I went there, I got in at the start of the show, so I got in at 9:30. I think I ended up leaving around 2:30, 3 o'clock. It goes on till 5. Bear in mind, I'm going around and filming every single stand. Most people are not going to need that time to go round, so I think this is a really good day out. There's good food facilities there because it's at the NEC. I rate this small show. I would definitely say this is one to attend. And obviously bear with me guys, because there's going to be more coming up, because I bought the Spitfire Mark 9C, the Airfix collaboration for Key Model World Live with Malx Models, with the exclusive decals, and I will be building that in a video, so stay tuned, stay subscribed, because it's coming up. Thank you to my channel members. You can join below, it really helps keep the channel going. A special shout out goes to my advanced kit level members, including Philip Jones, Charles Parker, Dafty Duck, Bob Alveridge, David Barber, Tekkers365, Jeff Dioramas, Bobby G, Philip Jones, Genevieve Albridge, and my 2 longest term subscribers, Explosive Water and Crazy Loacher. And if you've liked what you've seen here today, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and there's a recommended video here just for you, so why don't we go watch it?